Welcome to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman, the podcast dedicated to helping you build the business of your dreams and live the life you always hoped for, with valuable and fun tips and info to make your life easier and more fun. And now, here's your host, a man who sprinkles metal shavings on his breakfast cereal just for fun, Jason Silverman.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. I'm your host, Jason Silverman, and I am thrilled to share some time with you once again today. As you know, I am always on the hunt for interesting as well as super smart or real deal guests, and I gotta tell you, today's show is a winner. I want to introduce my listeners to somebody who's truly been there and done that, and I'm really excited to pick her brain for your benefit, and secretly for my benefit as well, too. So, for the folks who I work with in any of my coaching programs, my mastermind group, or through Powerful Words character development or all-star cheer sites, you know how much I focus on the importance of running a business with the proper strategies in place, right? Well, this show is going to help us to do just that. Now, today it's going to be my honor and privilege to share an amazing resource with you. You're going to love today's guest. She's got a ton of valuable info about what I consider to be super hot and super important information for anybody running a business. Now, as I'm sure you already know, I'm committed to helping business owners just like you to become more successful, enjoy your career more, and in general, make your life significantly more fun. As you know, we only get one ride around this merry-go-round, and we want to make sure it is one hell of a ride. Alrighty, boys and girls, it is now that time. I want you to stop surfing Facebook, put away your phone, your tablet, your dog, your cat, your spouse, your child, anything that might possibly distract you from today's show. You're about to get some great and immediately implementable information, and I don't want you to miss even a second of it. So, before we officially get going, I want to give you a little bit of background about our guest today. Nellie Akalp is a serial entrepreneur, small business advocate, speaker, and author. She's the founder and CEO of CorpNet.com, an online legal document filing service where she helps entrepreneurs start, grow, and maintain a business. Nellie, welcome to The Real Deal. I'm thrilled to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me, Jason.
The pleasure's mine. So before we get started, for those who haven't had the opportunity and pleasure of meeting you or hearing you speak, do me a favor. Take a second and share your story with our listeners. What are you passionate about? What makes you tick? Who is Nellie?
I'm passionate about small business and entrepreneurship and really helping others by inspiring them and motivating them to see what their passion is and then working backwards to see if they can make their passion into a business and hence that business into a reality and become their own boss and quit that 9-to-5 job.
I love it. It's so important. So important. I want to pick your brain on a couple things that I find many of my clients are running into right now on a negative basis, and hopefully you can share some insight to help people sidestep some of these problems. So obviously you're seeing folks when, either right before or right as they're launching businesses up to the point in time where they're actually running and growing. So I guess the first question is, how do you prepare your family and friends when starting a business?
I think it's a matter of just keeping it real and just being completely upfront about, how much you believe in that product or service and just communication, being real with your family and friends and, just getting together and making sure everybody's on the same page and treating it like a team. I mean, I'm a mother of 4. I have children ranging from 14-year-old twins all the way down to a 4-year-old toddler. And I happen to work with my husband, who's also my business partner in the business. So it really is all about just making sure everybody's in the same page. And what our ultimate goal is to, have a better lifestyle and be able to do the things that we would otherwise not be able to normally do if we didn't have those resources to do it with. So mommy and daddy need to work, and we have time for work and we have time for play and family, and at the end of the day we all get to live a better lifestyle as a result of mommy and daddy having their own business. Plus we get to make our own hours. So if my kids have a game or an extracurricular activity, I get to create my own schedule and revolve that schedule around my kids so that my kids know that I'm there at any given moment watching them at their football game, basketball game, their dance recital, or whatnot.
That sounds fair. Go a little deeper if you would, when we're talking about, preparing our friends, because obviously things change a little bit, and it may just be the same being open, but is there any difference or anything else you'd add when dealing with your friends who will now realize you're no longer doing the 9-to-5 thing and you're now an entrepreneur?
Well, I think with friends, it's actually interesting because with friends, it's more of a social thing whereby oftentimes, you're not available to them at their beck and call, or, hey, can we go out to lunch? Can we go out to dinner? Can we do a breakfast or a spa day? And for me specifically, my time is so limited when it comes to, dividing that time between my work and my children that I'm often limited as to what I can do socially with my friends. But at the end of the day, you have to have balance too. So oftentimes, I'll make sure that I commit to a certain time frame and create a certain time for my friends so that I'm not letting them down or letting myself down. Because again, to be a whole person, you have to have balance in your life, which means not only time for your husband and children, but also time socially and for yourself.
Fabulous answer. Let's talk about something you just touched upon as far as the balance is concerned. How do you balance a growing family and a growing business? I always felt like my business was, another one of my kids that needed just as much, if not more, attention. So how do you strike that balance?
I think for me, again, it starts with me, Jason. Balance, I think, is something that it really begins with that entrepreneur yourself, and you have to be centered and fulfilled and happy before you can have balance as a whole in your life, with your family, with your work, with your team members, as a leader, as a mentor. So it begins with me, and then from there on, I think it's really important to take every day literally as it comes to you. Take every day one day at a time, one step at a time. But also, plan ahead, be organized. And some of the tips I can share here for myself personally is that I don't let things pile up. I'm a super, super organized A-type personality, which most entrepreneurs have. Of just being an entrepreneur, you're super at A-type, super organized. So for me, I have to answer my emails before I leave the day. My inbox is empty. My desk is clean. And I'm ready for the day after. And frankly, as things come across my desk, I tend to deal with them head on rather than having it pile up. Similarly, in my home life and with my children, I'm very, very organized with everything that they need to do, where they need to be, what they need to be doing, where they need to go. And I think when you have that type of a mentality and get your family and friends and loved ones to sign on and agree with that, then there is work-life balance immediately as a result.
I think that sounds fair. That really does. Talk about what kind of systems do you have in place to make sure that things are getting done and that you're staying on track? I mean, obviously, the being organized is a big part of it, but for somebody maybe who's either new to owning a business or potentially even new to trying to become organized.
For me, I live on my iPhone and my iPhone is my greatest resource because it allows me to be at any given location at any given time and to be able to, for example, take care of my kids and also respond to emails or be on a phone call or, check my social followings or get engaged with my followers. So I think for me, my greatest resource is my iPhone and my tablet because it allows me to be where I want to be and do the things that I need to be doing at the same time. Other than that, I would probably say my best friend other than a device is a sticky note. I create sticky notes and reminders for myself all over my desk, my house, my whiteboard, on my car, so that I can remind myself of things that I need to be reminded of and to do those things on a daily basis.
Wow. Okay. Folks, you heard it here. That's fabulous. Now, here's something I've got to believe is near and dear to your heart, and I think you probably know this better than most. As far as the management of risk when starting a business, I'm guessing many people do this wrong or inefficiently. Are there some steps you can take to effectively managing that risk?
I think at any given time when you're trying to start a business, there's some risk that goes with starting a business. But again, that just goes along with being an entrepreneur. I mean, you have to have the stomach for the highs and the lows. But in my opinion, how you can minimize that risk is make sure the business that you're starting, whether it's a product or service, that you've tested it out and that you haven't gone out full force launching it without testing it out. I would definitely recommend you to test it with people who are going to ultimately write the check for your product and service, rather than hearing what you want to hear from family and friends. Those are the worst people to go to when you're trying to get critical response and feedback or sound criticism about a product or service that you're launching. And then, in my opinion, have a one-page business plan for where you want to see the business 6 months down the line, a year down the line, and make sure you have backup. If you feel that the business is such that, you can start it as a side gig while keeping your 9-to-5 job, then maybe that's the route you should take. But the biggest tip here is start slow and make sure you do your due diligence and your research by hunting for your food as a hunter would, by going out and really doing some research to see, whether there's a demand for your product or service. Is it going to solve a need out there? Is it going to solve a problem out there? And then come up with a one-page plan as to how you're going to launch and what are the steps you're going to take to launch the product or service.
I think that's very fair. Now, I want to pick your brain a bit more actually about CorpNet. As I told you before we started this interview, I actually wound up on your site. I was working with a client who needs to actually set their business up the right way. So do me a favor, tell me or share with our listeners, number one, what is CorpNet? And then let's kind of dig in a little bit there, because I felt as I was picking around, I was like, this is brilliant. Everything about this is brilliant. And it looks like it makes things so easy for small business. So tell me what it is, how it launched, and let's dig in there.
Absolutely. So CorpNet is a legal document filing service whereby we provide new and existing business owners with comprehensive, cost-effective business filing services when it comes to starting a business, managing an existing business, growing a business, keeping a business in compliance, in addition to trademark protection and copyright services. We provide the services in all 50 states. Our services range from $79 all the way up to $249 plus state fees to start a business, whether it be setting up a sole proprietorship or a partnership, filing a DBA, incorporating the business, setting up an LLC, or even setting up a nonprofit corporation or professional corporation. We have business filings experts who've been with us for anywhere ranging from 15 plus years and who can assist you and are equipped to assist you with any and all your inquiries when it comes to 50 state filing formation services.
It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So let me ask a silly question. So if somebody actually realized that, they did their end of year conversation with their accountant, or realized they should actually have that conversation or actually get an accountant, and their CPA actually told them, you're operating using the wrong entity. Is that a way, like, is CorpNet the next step for them where they're going to be able to go, okay, so I've been operating as a sole prop. It's probably time for an LLC or do that, and then, but I want to be taxed as an S corp. Or what's the matriculation?
Well, in answer to your question, CorpNet can be the answer, and we can definitely assist them by taking them from a sole proprietorship and converting them to an LLC. It's basically starting a new LLC for them. And in fact, we work with many CPAs, tax advisors, and accountants in assisting their clients with their business filing needs. So absolutely, we would be the vehicle to help them in getting their business filings done, whether they want to incorporate or set up an LLC or whatever business structure they want to set up for the business.
Okay. One more question on this, because I think it's very, very relevant to all of my people, is your trademark and copyright services.
Yes.
Especially folks what I found, the folks in the cheer world are having, all their marks ripped off by parenting groups, by other gyms. Number one, could you speak to the importance of actually having your trademark actually protected? And number two, how do they go about doing this through CorpNet?
Well, we offer trademark search and protection services through the United States and Patent and Trademark Office, which is a federal office and provides you with federal trademark protection so that you can ultimately have nationwide protection for your business name, brand, logo, or tagline. And the importance of having a trademark is basically preventing others from copying your name, logo, brand name, your slogan, your tagline. It's really to build a brand for yourself and preventing others from copying it so that you're preventing your own brand name from being diluted. And again, it's a very simple filing whereby we can assist you with the application and the paperwork. Our fees start from $149 for just a basic name filing, all the way up to $399 depending on the complexity and how many trademarks you want to file or various trademarks you want to file for a particular name. But we can offer those services and more to you nationwide.
That is fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And this is a very personal topic to me, as I do an awful lot with my IP attorneys. So it's a sore spot when people come to me and tell me that they don't have their stuff protected. So fabulous. All right. So obviously we kind of jumped over our resource of the week, but obviously the best place for folks to be able to learn more about what you and CorpNet do is simply by going to the website, right, at www.corpnet.com.
Yes. So anyone interested in setting up a business, whether it be setting up a sole proprietorship, partnership, incorporating a business, or setting up an LLC, or if you have an existing business and you'd like us to assist you in keeping that business in compliance, or you need a business license or permit or trademark protection services, just simply visit us online at www.corpnet.com. You can also reach out to us through email to info@corpnet.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at CorpNetNellie or on Facebook under Nellie Akalp, or just simply pick up the phone and call 1-888-449-2638, and we'd be more than happy to assist you with any and all of your business inquiries.
I love this. This is perfect. All right, Nellie, I always like to end my podcast with what I consider to be a telling question. So if you could give business owners just one solid piece of advice to either help their business or, really more importantly, to help them live a better, more balanced life, what would that piece of advice be?
For me, that advice would be do what you love what you do each and every day, and just while you're doing it, do it to win it. Otherwise, why do it at all? And just throughout anything you do, just remember, leave an impression behind on people, because if you touch one person's heart, you've made a difference in the world.
I love that. Nellie, thank you so much for joining me today. I know we bounced around a lot, but I feel like we've got some great information, and I feel like folks now know what those next steps are to take. So this has been absolutely fabulous. I know how busy your schedule is, and it means the world to me that you share some of your experience and your wisdom with us.
It's my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Jason, for having me, and I wish you the best of luck this year.
Oh, you the same. Folks, that is all the time we've got today. Thanks so much for tuning into The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. For more info about private coaching or to see if you benefit from one of our mastermind groups, visit me over at www.jasonmsilverman.com. I look forward to helping you achieve the success that you deserve. Until next time, let me leave you with this. Get out there and be the real deal. Set a goal, make a plan, work like hell towards it, and achieve the success that's waiting for you. Now's the time. Get out there and make it happen. This has been Jason Silverman, and I hope you have a spectacular week.
You've been listening to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. To access the great resources mentioned in the show and for information on coaching and mastermind group opportunities with Jason, please visit jasonmsilverman.com.